Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/relationships, where OP's wife was actively stalking her ex-boyfriend. Let's begin. My wife of 5 years is still stalking her ex-boyfriend on Facebook, whom she broke up with 8 years ago. Said the reason was curiosity and felt guilty about how they ended. Posted by Reddit user Deshul.
Hello, a few days ago I stumbled on my wife's Facebook searches on her ex-boyfriend. We have been married for 5 years plus have a toddler son. She broke up with her ex-boyfriend of 2.5 years 8 years ago. She had told me in the past that this ex-boyfriend was the longest relationship she had and one that she loved the most. The reason they broke up was because he did something wrong and went to jail for it. She couldn't wait 4 years for him. I always had feelings that she was still into him despite her assurance. When I saw the search on him on her Facebook, she lied at first telling me because her colleague wanted to see, but that lie was quickly seen through and she admitted it was herself. Then I asked her how many times have she searched on him since his release from prison 2 years ago. She told me this was the first time. Again, she was lying and I was able to make her admit it wasn't the first or the second time. It was more frequent, but I couldn't figure out the frequency of it. Her reasoning was she was being nosy, curious about how he's doing, and she felt that she had let him down in the past by leaving him at the most vulnerable days of his life, so she checked him out and make sure he's doing fine. Despite not being friends on Facebook, she can only merely see 1 or 2 profile pics and not any updates, etc., which makes my blood boil thinking that she's interested in these 1 to 2 pics of him. I have been in a long relationship of 6 years with another girlfriend. I know wholeheartedly how it is to stalk someone in the grieving stage of breakup, to accept it, to not giving a single shit anymore, and I know when you stop giving a single fuck for a person, you don't even have the thoughts of checking them out on Facebook or Instagram. Apparently, there is some residue left in my wife's heart. But again, I want to be fair to her and would like to know what others think about it. TLDR, wife of 5 years checking out ex-boyfriend on Facebook whom she broke off with 8 years ago. Lied 2 times when confronted. Thanks. To add, she was also in a very sensitive position towards that one ex-girlfriend of 6 years that I had. Always asking if I am looking her up on Facebook, thinking about her, etc. Yet, she did it herself on her ex-boyfriend behind my back is really disappointing.
OP, she doesn't want you behaving like her. That's why she kept asking. It's called projection, my dude. She's not over this guy, and the moment he whistles to her, she will come running back to him like a puppy. You're just her simp, man. Don't be that guy. Kick her to the streets before the eventual physical cheating that's going to happen. Divorcing now will at least spare you that heartbreak. And now for today's second story. My close guy friend never told me he had a girlfriend, and I feel weird about it. Posted by Reddit user
I never thought I'd post to Reddit, but here I am. Over the last 2 years, I became good friends with a group of people who live in my building. I became particularly close with one guy, going for walks, watching movies with the group or just the 2 of us, things like that on almost a weekly basis for the last 2 years. I'm not a big texter, but we'd text occasionally. I tell him pretty much everything about my life and he would share things about his life too. We've had some good, meaningful chats in the past. Nothing physical has ever happened. A few weeks ago, I happened to run into him and a girl who I found out later he has been dating for about 7 to 8 months now. Our mutual friends, which are his roommates, know. I had no idea his girlfriend existed despite how often we see each other. To complicate things, I did catch feelings along the way which I was hiding due to the age difference. I was fine to just be friends, but as friends, I assumed he would mention at some point if he started dating someone seriously. Guess I shouldn't have assumed that, but that's so unreasonable between friends. I told him I felt really weird that he never told me. Basically, to him it's no big deal because it simply never came up. But I can't shake the feeling that it was intentionally not brought up. He'd sometimes tell me about plans he had with friends over the weekend. I went here and did this with so-and-so this weekend, but never once did he ever mention doing anything with, or even the existence of, a girlfriend. He says his girlfriend already knew about me though. I find myself questioning our friendship. I can only think of a couple reasons why he never told me. Either our friendship was way more one-sided than I thought, he says it wasn't, or maybe he caught on that I caught feelings and used me for attention. Neither one of them feels good and I am really struggling with it. I feel awkward, embarrassed, and also too awkward to hang around our mutual friends, and certainly not ready to hang out with his girlfriend. I kind of feel like a fool, I guess. I guess I'm just looking for an outside perspective on whether I'm overthinking this, or if it does seem intentional, and what other reasons there could be that I'm not considering. I really want to believe our friendship was genuine and he wasn't using me for attention, but that's where my mind keeps ending up and I'm crushed. General words of encouragement would be great too. It really hurts. Please be kind in any replies, and if you do reply, please know that I appreciate you. Thanks, TLDR. My close guy friend for the last 2 years never told me he has had a girlfriend for the last 7 months, and I feel like it might have been intentional. I suspect he knows I caught feelings and didn't tell me because he liked the attention. I am sad and looking for perspective.
OP, my guess is that he didn't mention it because he was enjoying the attention and thought that if you knew he was in a relationship, you would naturally pull back. I don't think you're overthinking this. I find it unbelievable that his girlfriend wouldn't have come up in the 7 months of weekly hangouts where he's discussing plans and stuff he did with his friends. Another theory of mine is that he's keeping you around just in case things doesn't work out with his girlfriend. He wants someone as his backup plan. Either way, it's still a shitty move. I wouldn't continue this friendship if I were you. And now for today's final story. Am I the asshole for refusing to help my stepdaughter with her baby? Posted by Reddit user Late Satisfaction.
I married my husband Sam 5 years ago. Sam always knew I did not want to have children of my own and he was fine with it. He has a daughter, Lee. His wife died when Lee was 10 years old and I met him when she was 15. I didn't meet her till after a year of dating. She was a sweet young adult and we got along great. I did not move in with Sam till Lee left for college though. Lee got pregnant last year. Her boyfriend did not want to keep the baby, but she wanted to keep it. He broke up with her. Lee moved back in with us because she could not afford her lifestyle without him. She worked as a teacher and he was the breadwinner. I had concerns about how she was going to raise a child on a teacher's salary by herself. I suggested getting him to pay child support. She did not want that. Sam thought I should stay out of it. Fine, but once she had the baby around 4 months back, Lee seemed to realize having a baby is not the sunshine and rainbows she thought it was. She barely got any sleep during the last 4 months, all the while Sam was helping her with the baby while I did almost all chores myself. Now her leave is ending. She did not want to leave baby at daycare or with a nanny. Sam and I both work as well. She asked if I could stay home with the baby. I said no. First, it is not my baby and I never wanted to raise a child. Second, I have work. She asked Sam, who asked me to do it instead. I refused, stating the reasons again. Sam couldn't stay home because he earned more than me and covered more bills. I asked why Lee can't stay home with the baby herself. She said how she was young and had to build a career. I said many people take breaks to raise kids, and she broke down crying about how she was so tired all the time being a mom and she needed something else in her life too. Sam feels bad for her and thinks we should help her. I suggested she pay for nanny with her income, but Lee doesn't want strangers looking after her baby. Both of them are pressuring me to stay home with baby so she can go to work. I am standing firm on my decision. Lee said yesterday how she wished her mom was alive since she would have had her back. She said I didn't love her and my husband is also mad at me. Am I the asshole for refusing to help my stepdaughter with her baby? And now for OP's update. First of all, thank you for your support. I needed it more than I realized. Your replies, advice and suggestions gave me a lot to think about. I was taking this situation independently and not really seeing the whole picture. I had some tough conversations with my husband and stepdaughter. I showed my husband the post and replies. He was upset I posted about this in social media, but I convinced him it's anonymous and we would not have any ramifications. The sad truth is, even with overwhelming number of not the assholes, he refused to see the point. He accepts I have always been true about my boundaries, but he still needs me to step up and help out more. Be more understanding. I realize the fact is he sees his daughter as his baby girl and me as the adult in this situation. So he needs me to act like an adult and support the child. I tried to make him realize she is not a child. She made her own decisions and she needs to be an adult. He says I won't get how a parent would feel and he needs to be there for her. I realized his long-term plan is to keep supporting her as long as he can and she wants it. To be frank, I sort of respect his stand. A father wanting to be there for his daughter and wanting to live for her is admirable, but that is not the life I envisioned. Loving grandmother that babysits occasionally, sure, but raising Lee and her baby, nope. Before we decided on anything extreme, we had a talk with Lee as well to know what her plans are. We revisited the topic of child support and this time her dad was adamant to know why. Your replies made him concerned, I think. Well, apparently the reason is Lee is still in love with him. She is scared pushing a court case and responsibility on him on a decision she made will scare him away. She is still holding on to hope he will come back. We don't think she is being realistic but have decided to table that talk for later since Sam is anyway ready to fund the baby's life and child support can be demanded with back pay when she decides to follow up. We offered her multiple solutions, such as lesser work hours, career change, nanny, daycare. She did not accept any offer. She loves the school she works at and does not want to leave it. She claims reducing hours will impact her career trajectory and since she wants to work, she might as well work full-time. She does not want to leave baby with strangers and is refusing to hear it. She wants her baby to grow up with family feeling loved and she can't be at peace unless she knows one of us is with the baby. Sam is refusing to cut down hours himself since he can't afford bills himself. Let me clarify, he had refinanced this house to pay for her college education. Did not want her to have any loans. I had suggested we downsized from this 3-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom one we can both afford. He wanted to have space for his daughter. I understood that but I couldn't afford to pay for it. We came to an understanding I wouldn't pay for it and won't have any rights to the house either. That is his biggest payment. We split the rest of the expenses proportionate to our income till Lee moved back in. She doesn't help financially. I contributed to normal day-to-day expenses but all baby-related expenses are being met by Sam. If Sam stops working or reduces hours, he won't be able to do all these. I would take up being breadwinner, but we would have to downsize and Lee would at least have to cover all baby-related expenses herself. Neither of them wants that. The conclusion of all discussions was the same. They needed me to stay home with baby. Sam wouldn't be putting anything in my savings or retirement funds because he won't have funds for that. He also thinks it isn't necessary since I can just go back to work when baby starts school. Long story short, I left. I packed all my clothes and stuff out of everything I had heard in my car and is now crashing at a friend's home. I don't have any rights to the house or own any furniture there, so leaving was easy. I have booked an appointment with my lawyer. I think this is the best decision I can take for myself. Both Sam and Lee called me a selfish asshole for leaving. I guess it will have to be this way.
Imagine having the audacity to call a woman a selfish asshole for refusing a life she doesn't want to live. OP, they are the selfish assholes, not you. And your husband is obviously easily manipulated by his spoiled daughter and refuses to see that she is an adult and should be behaving like one. This will not bode well for the daughter down the road, as she will have no ability to be responsible for herself and, more importantly, her child once her father passes. And only God knows when that will be. Hopefully not for a very long time, at least for the baby's sake. You made the right choice, OP. I wish you well. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.